Hey, what's up guys, Eustass Boost here and welcome to a One Piece video. Kind of crazy turn of events, but basically the One Piece card game released last week and I bought a kit structure just because I'm a huge fan of the series. Didn't actually plan on playing the card game in a competitive way, but of course I couldn't help myself. The Radiant Trade, Ulti Cup or Regional, I can't even remember, was held today, got cancelled, and I decided to just go to a One Piece local and see how I could do with 3 games under my belt. Basically, before this local I literally played just 3 games, shout out to Gia. I just checked out the deck list online, got the cards from Kai of Cards, which is like a web store in the Netherlands where the locals also held, so shout out to them for the deck, because I checked out the deck list and then I was like, okay, let's see how I'll do. I actually managed to go 3-1, so the deck is kind of good, because for sure I am not. I played Eustass Captain Kit just because I felt that was one of the coolest characters. That's like a leader card right now, so I wanted to play that. Yeah, basically I played 4 matches. I lost to Doffy because I didn't see the A-drop kit, because I think if you see that the matchup should be pretty good, but I didn't, so I just got super overwhelmed, and then I beat 2 Law and Odin. Yeah, the locals won by Luffy, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, let's just check out the deck list, I guess, and yeah. Alright, diving into the deck list. Of course we have the leader card, which is the structure deck. Eustass Captain Kit. Very straightforward effect, right? Suspend or arrest 3 tons, and then you can activate him again, and you can do a big push once again. So what you really are doing with this late game is giving it like a bunch of dons, so it's basically not counterable, and then you just swing, and if they have a blocker, you just unsuspend and swing again. Yeah, super straightforward, very strong effect. It's also just good in clearing big other characters, so yeah. Not much to say about that. Then for the 1-drops, we have of course the full place of General Bonnie. This is probably the best card in the deck. At first I felt like obviously you want to see the early game to dig for your pieces, but it's actually better during the late game when you have the A-drop kit out. But I'll talk about that, I guess, when we get there. Then another full playset of Capone Gang Veggie from the structure deck. It's just a 1-drop blocker. Not much to say about that. And the last 1-drop I'm playing is triple Kozuki Momonosuke. Basically this is just Bonnie, right, except for Land of Wano. Is it cards or characters? Cards. So yeah, this is just a blocker, and both these say for 1 ton you can suspend them, not review the top 5, but look at the top 5 and then add 1 Supernova, and in this case Land of Wano, to your hands. I played 3 because I saw a deck list that topped in the Japanese meta, I'm pretty sure, playing this ratio, but honestly I would probably just play 4 of the Kozuki Momonosuke. And that's it for 1-drops. Moving on to the 2-drops, we have the OP1 blocker killer here, which has the Don ability that if it has 1 Don, when you block and you have 3 or more characters, you can draw a card. Pretty straightforward, just locals blocker. It's nice. Also has the counter, so that's nice as well. Then we have the full place of Apu. He has counter plus 2000, which is very nice, and then his on-field effect is also kind of good in certain matchups. I think against Crocodile specifically it's kind of nice, because you can rest their Don cards, even though they can kind of play around it, right, because they can literally just see it's on the field, since it doesn't have rush or anything, and they can play around it by just keeping an additional Don active. But yeah, the counter is just nice in pretty much every matchup. And then another full playset of Nekomamushi, searchable by Momonosuke, and you can rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less, which is nice if you're trying to control the field, especially in combination with this card, which is the killer from the structure deck, which says you can KO one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. So this is kind of like a combo, right? And you can also bring this out with the 8-drop kit. Yeah, there's not much to say about that. Also as the counter, but I think 3 is enough because honestly, I really thought you would be resting a lot of your opponent's characters in this deck because you're playing a lot of cards that do that, and then you can combo it with this, right? But it does require a lot of done, and I think 3 of this is honestly fine. Like, I really didn't feel like I needed a 4th. Then for Land of Valor 3-drop we have Izo, which basically has the same effect as Nekamamushi, only you can suspend or rest a character with cost 4 or less instead of 3. And then for the final 3-drop, I'm pretty sure we have Aokiku, who has the Dawn ability of when attacking once per turn, rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Which is quite nice, being able to rest something like Blocker Law. But yeah, it's not on play, right? It is on attacking, so it needs to remain on the field basically to get that off. And then the last 3-drop I played was, I played one Raizo, which has when attacking once per turn if you have 2 or more rest characters, you can draw a card. This also works like if you already have one suspended character, you can rest this. Then you have 2, so you can draw a card on attack. However, the 4,000 attack power is not that much. I'm not sure if I would play this again, to be honest. It didn't really shine for me. Then for the 5-drops I played triple of the Basil Hawkins. Again, I really expected my this deck to suspend a lot of your opponent's cards, and then this can attack a rested character and then unsuspend, or go back to active. Set it back to active. So basically you can do 2 swings with this. It's also 6,000, so it's nice for attacking into your opponent's leader, especially since you need it done anyway. You reach that magic 7k number where they need to discard at least 2 counter cards, right, to block the attack. And then I played 2 of the 5-drop Law. Honestly, I would probably swap this around just because this is almost always good. It's also a blocker, which is very nice. And this, it just doesn't come up that much. And again, your opponent will know it's there. Well, this can definitely have impact with the unplayability and being a relatively large blocker. So yeah. Then moving on to the biggest drops of the deck, we have the full playset of the Eustass Captain Kit from the structure deck. He's a huge blocker, 7,000, and then with 1 Dawn at the end of your turn, you can set it back to active. So basically what you're doing with this guy is you're swinging against your opponent with at least 8,000, which is a lot. And then at the end of your turn you just put it back to active, and it's a really big blocker. So yeah, this card is amazing. And then the last character we're playing is more Captain Kit, which is this one, the 8-drop. One of the nice alt arts, really enjoy this art. With 1 Dawn and on your opponent's turn, this got an erratum. So on the card it says, if this character is rested, your opponent cannot attack any other character, or any character other than Eustass Captain Kit, but it's meant to say card instead of character. So they basically, they have to attack this guy, which is very, very nice. It also works for protecting the leader. And what I mentioned earlier, this is really where the 1-drops really shine, like the Bonnie. Because late game you can set up a Bonnie, and use the ability to review the top 5 and add a card to your hand. And then they won't be able to easily beat over it since it is 1k, right? Because the kid will be rested on your field and they are forced to attack him. And it really takes a lot of resources to get over this guy. Especially if you pair it with like the Veggie, or even potentially this kid. So it's really in the late game where this deck really shines and becomes really, really hard to deal with all the surges, and also this kid swinging for a lot, multiple times. And then the last card we're playing is Triple Paradise Waterfall. It's a counter card, and it says your leader or one of your characters gains plus 2,000 power during this battle, and then you can send one of your characters to active. And it also has a trigger effect where you can KO one of your opponent's rested characters with 4 costs or less. But really the ideal setup you want to have is basically this kit with this kit. And then when they try to run over this, you're gonna go block Paradise Waterfall on this guy to make sure he survives, and then you can unsuspend him as well. And then you have the big blocker up again to protect your
your age drop kit, which is kind of crazy. I will probably bump this up to 4 because this card's just really really nice in my opinion. But yeah, that's the deck list.
Alright guys, thanks for checking out the deck list. As I said, I'm gonna make some changes. I'm not sure how much I will be doing with this game. We'll see if there will be more One Piece content. If this video does well, probably let me know how you feel about One Piece content in the comments as well, so I know if I should pick it up a little bit more or not. Yeah, that's it. Maybe I'll see you in the next one. Bye!